Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schneet, the CD Junkie, and guess what? This is going to be a new ongoing series that's called Music Matters. And basically, they're just going to be little personal episodes where I talk about a certain album that really made a difference in my life. And of course, I'm going to be focusing on late 70s, early 80s, but I might throw some things in there occasionally. I'm only going to talk about one album, one band, and I've decided the first one that I'm going to talk about is an album called Present Tense by a band called Shoes. Back, as I've said before, and I'll make this quick, early 1978 is when I made the leap from just my normal Osmonds and Neil Diamond and Queen and Beatles and Monkees, and then I made the leap into new wave, punk, power pop, all that wonderful stuff. Anyway, I was buying albums by bands that had "the" in front of their name. Well, Shoes was a band that kind of confused me. I was thinking, gosh, should I buy this album called Present Tense because it's brand new, but it doesn't have "the" in front of the name? But they look like they might be a band that has that "the" vibe to them. And the way that I noticed them is because I was at Licorice Pizza, which is a chain store, and they had a poster. The album had just come out, and they were advertising, and it was like, send us a Polaroid or give us a Polaroid of your shoes, and we'll pick the best pair of shoes, and then you win a prize. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was a new pair of shoes, or at least a copy of Present Tense. But you know what? I grew up in a household we didn't have a lot of money, so my parents never forked over a lot of money for shoes. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to fork over the money and buy this myself, and not take a picture of my shoes and wait 3 months before the contest ends. No, I wanted to check this out. I'd never heard them. I'd heard of them. I had seen, I think, the Tomorrow Night single, and I believe that I had seen their album Black Vinyl Shoes before that. But I wasn't 100% sure, but it looked like it might be kind of cool. So I forked over my probably allowance, and I took this album home, and I loved it. Shoes at that time was a quartet. It was Jeff Murphy on guitar and vocals, his brother John Murphy on bass and vocals, Gary Klebe on guitar and vocals, and drummer Skip Meyer. Present Tense, produced by Mike Stone. Recorded in England, but the band was from Zion, Illinois. This was their major label debut. It was on Elektra Records. And it's a beautiful album. Great harmonies. This album had a lot of acoustic guitars, a lot of layers, beautiful songs. And the lead vocals were great. Jeff, John, and Gary all wrote their own songs, and you can tell that they contributed to each other's arrangements and vocal harmonies. Shoes is one of those bands that has a distinct vocal harmony sound, and when they sing backup on somebody's album, you go, oh, it's the guys from Shoes. Present Tense, the album hit me hard. It was just wonderful. There was so much life in it, but there was also so much sadness. There was a little haunting feel to it too, which made it very real. I had been going with this girlfriend. I'm going to be personal in these videos, by the way, but I'm not going to give the names of the people involved because I don't want to embarrass them. But I'd had a girlfriend since I was 14, and by the end of summer of 79, I think it was, which was around the time this album came out, maybe a little bit later, a little bit before, she had broken up with me. When I listened to a band like Shoes, this was a band that looked like they might be just a few years older than me, and they maybe didn't have as much money as the Beatles, and they didn't live in mansions like the Beatles. I'm assuming so. Now, maybe these guys were all independently wealthy and lived in mansions in Zion, but they seemed more down to earth. And the songs on the Present Tense album were absolutely filled with love, loss, confusion, everything that comes with a relationship. Of course, I was heartbroken because I'd been in this relationship with this girl for 2 years. I was heartbroken. Absolutely. And then I remember listening to the album Present Tense, and I started thinking, wow, there are people that have experienced the same emotion. When you're 14, 15, 16, you don't realize that everybody's going through with the same things you are. And that's always been, I think, a big problem with a lot of people is they feel like they're hurting alone, but you're not, because we've all gone through it. And when you click, when you connect with a song or an album, it makes you understand that it's much more than just a song that spins on a piece of plastic and you can hear it when you put your needle down. It's something that you can emotionally connect to because they're singing about the things that you're feeling. So when I'm hearing Your Very Eyes or In My Arms Again or Tomorrow Night or Too Late on the Shoes album or Three Times, my heart isn't hurting as much because I'm going, okay, these guys got through it. Now, how did these guys get through relationships? I don't know. But they got through them enough to get a recording contract, go to England and record an album. So I would sit in my room and I'd go, I'm going to hurt just enough so I can record an album in England. And you know what? My heart's hurt for the last 50 years and I still haven't gone to England and recorded an album, but maybe one day. But Present Tense is an album that falls under this Music Matters theme that I'm going to be talking about in this series. This is why when a lot of my friends are hurting, I'm not just going, hey, don't talk to me, just go listen to Shoes. No, I'm not saying that. But if somebody is going through a tough time, if somebody's hurting for some particular reason, maybe a bad day at work, maybe they're mad at their significant other, maybe they're lonely, that's the best time to turn on whatever music lifts your spirits. There's so much power in music. There's so much magic in music. I connect with music emotionally. I hear it and I feel it at the same time. So that first spin, first two spins, first three spins is very important to me because that's when the connection begins. That's really all I wanted to say. Well, actually, what I want to say now is I put together a little medley of songs from Present Tense by Shoes. So go ahead, sit back, give it a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
What do you say? Where till tomorrow night? How can I wait until tomorrow night? You only see me when you want to, baby. After all you tried, I'm gonna make a change to show you, baby. Right before your very eyes, these eyes that I've seen only me. You lied, I tried to overlook your careless way of love. And when you call, I never turned you down. Too late, too late, too late to see, too late to let you run away. You're not alone when I'm gone. Rain is all I see. Stay by my phone when I call. Tell me that you need me. Show me how you feel. Pull me through. Please don't keep me lonely. Nobody else would be the same if it isn't you. They weigh me down, and then I hang around, and then you tag along, you keep me high. You don't have much left to lose. You don't have much left to lose. I'll take my time, find it out inside a girl I love. Why is it different from me than it is for you? I've been hoping that you would see. I don't wanna watch you cry. Seeing you this way makes me wish I'd lied. Dry your eyes so I won't have to lay awake tonight. Too fast already won. Take a backseat for
Well, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this very first episode of Music Matters. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, and you matter.